It's update day, and there's a lot of really cool new things in creative mode. Today I'm going to cover a lot of things, and one of the things I think is one of the most significant updates creative mode's had in a very long time, and not a lot of people are going to notice it. So I talk about that a little bit later in this video. We're going to show off a brand new island that they've given us. They've added a whole bunch of new galleries that I think are just really awesome and unique. There's a new consumable box that I think will add some dimension to your maps. I'm going to show you how to use that. There's even a new way to browse all of your channels and what you've already set up, and it's just going to help map makers to build their maps more easily. So I think there's a lot of really cool stuff. Let's jump in and cover it all. Let's go. Now, before I get into showing you a bunch of stuff, let me just remind you guys to subscribe to the channel. There's a lot of people that watch my videos that aren't subscribed, so shame on you. Be sure to subscribe. Okay, now let's check out this new island. This is a really cool new default island that you can just upload, and it has basically a spy base built into it. Let's just take a quick look at it. There's the Creative Hub riff right here on this helipad pad. This is really cool, by the way. And let's see if you can actually, yep, look, you can actually pull up the stuff. I'm sure this is gonna be in the galleries and stuff. I haven't had a chance to look at the galleries yet, but we will look at those together. This is a really cool island. It's just a really small island, actually, but there's a lot of cool stuff on it. You can see there's a different secret entrance, and this base is actually pretty huge. If you start running around it, there's just a lot of like secret hidden little rooms. There's a vault here. There's just a lot going on with this base. So it's a really cool place to start if you want to have like a spy looking island, or if you just want this island in general. Let's see what it looks like if we delete everything. Okay, so guys, you can see kind of the shape of the island that it's taking as I delete all this, and you'll notice how much memory is already taken up in this island. So I'm starting to think this might not be a great island to use unless you just want to use the base for like a default game mode or something, right? It's just not gonna be really useful to use this like by itself to build like a map from scratch unless you really want that base, just because it takes up so much memory, because otherwise it's just a pretty typical little island. But if you really wanted this as your starting thing and you just wanted to delete everything, it doesn't take too long to delete everything. So yeah, there's that. Okay, let's jump into some of the other stuff. I'm gonna go out to my like test map where I just like, it's a blank slate. Let's go over there and we can look at the new device. Let's go into our new consumable. Right here, you're gonna see there's a creepin' cardboard consumable. So it's not technically a new device, but it's something you can use in the game. So one thing we're gonna need to really test this out is the item spawner. We're gonna equip that, and we're gonna throw that down right here, and then we're gonna drop the boxes into it so we can really test out what what it is. Okay, so here is our creepin' cardboard boxes. I think you can only have 5, is that right? I'm not sure. But so this is the cardboard box. You can put it on, and it looks like there's a little timer on how long you can have the box, but you can crouch and you can hide, and that's basically it. You can't really run fast when you have it on, so that might be interesting as we're building maps or thinking about maps. I just want to see if this falls off after a certain period of time. Let's see, there's like, you can see over on the box over there, there's like this little timer that's counting down. Let's see what happens when it reaches the end. Oh, that's just a recharge. Anyway, so that's kind of cool. Let's see how it interacts with some of our other devices like perception triggers and like bots. Okay, so I've placed down 3 different things to test. We've got our perception trigger right in front of us, we've got our bot down there, and we've got zombies. And I'm curious how they interact with someone that's wearing a box. So right now you can see the perception trigger sees me, it's following me everywhere I move. Let's put on a box. Okay, so it's still following me when I'm wearing my box, but what happens when I crouch? Oh, so it turns the perception trigger off when I crouch, and that's interesting. That might be interesting for different puzzles to unlock. Maybe if you're doing like a duo map or something, one person has to hide from the perception trigger while the other person, like it unlocks a door or something for the other person or something like that. I don't know, I'd have to think a little bit more about it. Okay, let's see how it interacts with a bot here. Oh, it looks like he's not firing. What happens if I unhide? Oh, they definitely see you. So when you have the box on, even when you're running around right in front of them, they can't shoot you. So that might be something interesting, where you have to wear a box to get through all the guys or something. So they still like kind of like follow you, but they just don't fire when you have the box on. Okay, let's test out our zombies here. So when I get too close here, they follow me. I'm in the box. They stop. Zombies can't see you. when you're in the box. Might be some way to get through certain parts of maps that you otherwise would be really hard if you were just running around, you know, without a box on. Or maybe it's like, once again, for like a duo map, you know, you might be able to throw a box on someone so that they are then, you know, invisible to bots and zombies. Okay, now let's jump into the channel browser function, which is really cool. So if you're building a map and you're using a ton of channels, sometimes you're using like 50, 60, or even more, and you kind of get lost in how they're related and if they're working, that kind of thing. Well, this is gonna help. So I have a channel 1, a channel 2, and then there is a perception trigger right there. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to our island settings, and you're gonna see down in the bottom right a channel browser. So click on that, and you'll see here that trigger 1 transmits when it's stood on, and then the perception trigger also transmits on when it sees a player. You can even go to all devices, you know, see which, you know, you can see here that I have the triggers, there's an item spawner, there's a player spawn, there's even the creature spawner, and look, this cool thing, you can teleport to it. You can click teleport, and wow, I appeared below it, but I teleported to that device. So that is a really cool function when you're like, oh wait, I don't even remember where I put, you know, channel 1, let's teleport to it, and you're standing right next to it. So really cool way to organize channels, build maps, and keep track of everything. And now I want to show you guys something that I think is incredibly significant and is going to play a huge role into the success of creative mode. So if you go over to your description tab right here, you're going to see a new thing that they've added here is edit tags. You can have 4 tags. You click on that and you'll see all these different categories that they've created that you can tag. So you can see here there's an adventure tag. You can have a boss battle in it. There's all sorts of things you can do. This is duo, or it's a gun game, or whatever. There's all of these categories that Epic has created. In the patch notes, they said creators can now tag their islands with descriptors. The descriptors will have limited use for now, but will have a more significant role as we continue to develop the feature. I think this is the beginnings of them creating a way to find maps within Fortnite where you can search adventure maps and all the adventure maps will pop up, or all the MOBA maps will pop up, or all the King of the Hill maps will pop up. So that, I think, is going to be a significant addition to this this whole mode. So make sure you tag your map so that when they have that feature at some point in the coming months or year, your maps will show up and people are searching for death runs or adventure maps or box fights or whatever. So I think that's a huge update, and I think a lot of people aren't going to really notice that at first. Just be sure to be tagging all of your maps now. Go back to your old maps, tag them, tag your new maps, and make sure that is part of your building habits, because it's going to play a significant role in people finding your maps in the future, I think. Okay guys, let's check out all the new prefabs. So these are the shark walls and floors. There's nothing too crazy in here that I saw, other than on the shark floors and roof pieces. There's this piece right here. This is a roof, and I've flipped it upside down, and I thought it could be cool as something that you can float, you know, like if you were sliding down it, you know, this is a good way to keep people within a, you know, certain area. You could even kind of make it smaller so that, you know, it's like a really small chute you're sliding down or something like that, you know. So it might be, that's a cool piece that I think could be useful for different maps. So this is the shark prop gallery. I couldn't find anything like too crazy in here. There are some really cool new terrain pieces right here that you could use for different things. So that is actually really cool, useful things. And then they've also got these really nice pool terrain pieces that are cool. I like this H as well. Actually, can you jump through the H? Let's see. Yeah, you can. So that might be cool. This is actually completely non-collision. So it's just, you can jump right through it. You can't land on it or anything. Oh, look how big this can get, guys. So this actually might be a way for escape rooms or whatever to have an invisible wall that you can just run straight through, right? So you might be able to hide that with some white walls or, you know, something else like that. So it might be a cool way to troll people or hide things that, you know, you want people not to find right away. Nothing else too crazy in this gallery. The galleries that are really cool are the yacht galleries. So check out the yacht gallery, guys. There's so many new unique things. I really love these pieces. that you can use to walk on, or even to just add dimension to your walls. Like, I love this one. It looks like a really industrial thing you can walk on. Like, it almost reminds me a lot of like Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back, when Darth Vader's telling Luke that he's his father. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Star Wars. But it's a really cool, like, industrial looking thing. I think that's gonna add a lot of dimension to maps. I mean, just look at it. There's so many awesome things. There's all these like yarn. Like, look at this piece for a cat. I just think it's so cool. There's all these balls of yarns over here that you can see. I mean, there's just all the like bottles, shelves. Like, it just adds a lot of dimension. There's even like this punching bag, yarn punching bag thing. Just really cool things. There's this cool new like character you can add into your game. It's just a little tiny kitty, but if you blow it up, this is what it looks like. Look at this awesome like fish carpet. I mean, there's just a lot of really cool items in here that you can add into your maps now. This is the statue blown all the way up, because I just like to make things big, as you guys can see. There's this new engine, which is really cool. It makes noise when you get close to it. Awesome. Here's some cool new pieces that you can use to crouch and, you know, get around. You can make a little maze of like air ducts here. There's just some really cool stuff in this gallery. It's like a really unique gallery here. And even look at this. I mean, it's just really cool pipes. So awesome. And then we've got the floors and walls of the yachts, which is really cool. I really love these new gold pieces that have some round curvature to it. You don't have a lot of pieces in creative mode yet that have a ton of round curving on it, so I feel like anything that adds, you know, that kind of a dimension is good for creative mode. And then you have these shark galleries, which are really cool. If you look at this, it looks like a shark mouth, and then you can add teeth up into these holes right here. And then there's actually a large version of this, and this is it blown all the way up. I mean, just look how massive this is, guys. It's almost to max height. So this is massive rock that you can put into your maps if you really want, and you can make it look like a giant shark or whatever you want it to be. So a lot of really cool new additions, guys. I think some really significant updates that are going to change creative mode forever, and I'm just really loving this new patch. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want to watch any of my how to build in Fortnite videos, click right here. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, and have an amazing day.